This is me in 1978. I'm 16 years old. I'm going into 10th grade, playing my Les Paul. I'm already playing in bands. 1978 was different because all these massively big bands put out their first records. This one... The first time I heard this record, the bass player in the band, Matt, brought it into my friend Pete's dad's church where we rehearsed. Set up his huge stereo and said, you got to hear this. And he put on that song, Running with the Devil. And I heard it. I was like, what is that song? And then he said, you got to hear this. When it got to the tapping part, I thought, what is that? I had no idea it was tapping. How would you know what that was? I thought to myself, oh my God, is that two people playing? What is that? Is that some type of trick? There was no tab. There were no videos. There was nothing. There was just that. It just blew my mind. And then all my friends were listening to Van Halen. Another thing that happened at that same time was this came on the radio.
Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. Those days are...
When I got to interview Sting, I told him this story. When I was in 10th grade, the first time I heard that on the radio, you could hear your voice above the noise of the car, even with the radio down low. I'd ask my friends, have you heard that song Roxanne? It's like, yeah, who's that band? It's like, they're called The Police.
I think register is interesting, you know. Most heavy metal singers sing up there.
Yeah.
So I'm a heavy metal singer, but I have a little more melody.
Another band I started playing in at the same time in 1978 was a band called the Monroes. The Monroes were a kind of a new wave punk rock band, and one of our favorite bands was this band who had put out their first record.
I don't mind you coming here, wasting all my time.
This is, of course, Just What I Needed by the Cars.
So near, I kinda lose my mind.
Also on this record, and then My Best Friend's Girl. Here's another band with their debut record. Once again, when I heard this guitar playing, I love air guitaring, even though I can play all these parts. Everybody says that. Rick, why do you air guitar when you can play the parts? Because it's more fun to air guitar than to play them. When I was putting this list together with all these songs, that I was thinking about is how good all these records sound. They sound amazing. Okay, if that's not enough great debut records, there's even more. Kate Bush. And my favorite song on the record.
They think he's lost on some horizon, and suddenly I find myself listening to a man I've never known before, telling me about the sea, all his loves till eternity.
Man with the Child in His Eyes. Another debut record, Devo. Another record that was a huge influence on my band, the Monroes, because we kind of got our name from the Ramones.
24 hours to go. I wanna be sedated. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. I wanna be sedated.
Bob Seger released Stranger in Town.
I like that old timer rock and roll.
The same record also had this incredible ballad.
We've got tonight. Who needs tomorrow? We've got tonight, babe.
In 1978, Brian Eno's Ambient One Music for Airports also came out. Billy Joel released his 52nd Street album that year, which featured
Big shot, did you had to open up your mouth. You had to be a
Rolling Stones' Some Girls. Talking Heads.
Straight line exists between me and the good thing. I have found the line and its direction is known to me.
AC/DC's Power Edge record came out that year, which has one of my favorite AC/DC riffs, which is Riff Raff. Earth, Wind and Fire released their greatest hits record, which had a new single on it, September. In 1978, Rush released Hemispheres.
When our weary world was young, struggle like the angels must be.
And then how could I forget Boston Don't Look Back, their second record, which has one of the greatest ballads ever on it.
If only I could find a way. I feel like I'm the man you believe I am.
How is it that all these records came out that year? And there's even more. Is there anything going on today that's anything like this? Is there any movement going on? Are there all these artists that we're going to be talking about 40 years later? I don't think so. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. Leave a comment, hit the subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching.